Hi folks, something completely different for you today. You join me on what I suppose we'll call our first ever bit of on location filming. You join me from what I would call the middle-sized shed of our farmyard. It's a long time since I've actually been in this shed. Well, it's about a year and a half since I've been over on the farm full stop, due to a combination of circumstances working against me, and not only against me but against us all at home for different reasons. But I am just, it was Susie's first ever time bringing the van out for a spin, so she knows me well enough to know that there's only one place on planet Earth I would want to go for such an occasion. And so here we are in the yard. This yard was a man-made yard, it has to be said. Every bit of it built by my brother Paul, with help from a few neighbours and friends along the way. When we took our herd number out again in 2013, I will get Susie in a few moments just to turn around the camera and show you what we call the big shed. It's a three bay hay shed, I suppose you call it, although more often than not there would have been cattle in it. It's gone a little bit dishevelled looking and out of kilter because it's been out of use. But as I may have mentioned in last night's video, I would intend, when I get my hands on my bigger sprayer, I would intend coming over here and doing a right good clean up job, because I have no intention of letting the place fall into disrepair just because I have no intention of letting the place fall into disrepair just because it's quiet this year. And I would actually think and believe that there are any number of possibilities that we can use the yard for, and indeed the land itself, depending on what direction we want to go. What else can I tell you? When we get the camera off the tripod and get it moving a bit, you will see that there was a grand meadow of hay made and baled here last week, as I'm sure most of you at this stage would have seen in our in the haymaking video. I think it was last Thursday. So I believe the rain has momentarily stopped. I'm looking down the yard here and I noticed the good lady is on her phone, so I may as well keep talking to you for another bit. I tell you what I do notice, which is really after surprising me, the fact that the hay was only baled last Thursday evening, and the aftergrass has regrown to a very large degree underneath it already. Now again, when Susie comes back into the shed, I will get her to pan the camera around so you can see the bales and indeed the way the aftergrass has regrown underneath it. Now I will have to talk to a few farmer neighbours to see um, do they want it for after grass or where we're at. I'm actually not sure what the plan of attack is at the minute, but I will.
Well, it's kind of stuck now.
But I will definitely want some sort of a plan going forward for it, for the simple reason that it's too good of a piece of land and too good of a setup to leave here lying idle until possibly Meta time next year or whatever it will be. Because number one, I have no intention of giving up on livestock farming or proper agriculture, if you want to call it that. But and secondly, apart from it being too good to be left lying idle, I want to I want to have something to be an outlet for me, or an outlet for me, or just something of a side operation, away from say what is mostly routine, i.e. writing and the website and going to rehab and da 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 da. Now, Jesus, don't get me wrong. I mean, each and every bit of what I'm just after rhyming off there is absolutely treasured, but farming has always been and will always be too big a part of my life to simply let it die away the way it looked for a large part of this year that I was going to. But having just got over here now most recently and got the bug back, for not that it ever left, but just being in around this place just livens me up and heals me, and it's therapy in itself, but you know, there's definitely plenty we can look at doing over here going forward. I just see the sun is coming out now, so I'm gonna have a ramble around the yard. Susie was, of course, over here the other evening filming the haymaking, but it's the first time we've been over here together, so I'm just going to bring around and show her a few bits and pieces. And, I think knowing her business brain and my ability to come up with ideas, for want of a better way of describing it, I think there's absolutely no doubt that there's something we'll be able to do, and she's just off the phone now, so I get her to knock off the camera for a moment, and I will take you on a little tour of the place shortly. Now, folks, as many of you will no doubt have seen at this stage, I sold my tractor a few, oh God, a couple of months ago now, I suppose. Absolutely by no means something that I wanted to do, but without going into too much detail about the situation, it was something that if I didn't do, it could have made things very awkward in a certain situation. Now, so while we are here and while I have the camera with me, I will just bring you on a little tour of the place. If you look in there to my left hand side, you will see that that corner in particular definitely needs cleaning up. As I mentioned, when I get my hands on the knapsack sprayer, there's a lot of the place going to need a good cleaning up, even inside of this big shed. This is what I call the big shed. It's the biggest of the three. My absolute pride and joy in the place. Built totally by hand by my brother Paul, with a small bit of help from neighbours and friends along the way. Now, I will admit I am absolutely heartbroken by the way it looks at the moment, purely because it hasn't been in use obviously since last spring, and with COVID and other things that were going on at home and whatnot, uh, we never really got around to cleaning it out. And there are actually some weeds not grown in the back of it, so we have the sprayer over, we'll sort that out. Also, if you see the bit of an end gable end wall behind my back, that blew down in a storm a couple of years ago, and we've never actually got around to uh, putting it back together again. And also, the bit of a hole in the wall where you would have seen the two gates blocking it up. That was where a heifer, well, we thought she was a heifer, but it actually turned out, well, she was a heifer, but it turned out she was in calf, and we didn't know she was in calf. And the night we tried to calve her, now, to cut a long story short, we lost the calf and just about saved her, but the night we tried to calve her, she didn't take too kindly to the process at all and actually bolted out through that back wall that you could see the hole in a few moments ago. You will have also seen in the video there that I have quite a few bits of my own machinery that I would have accumulated over the years since we started back in 2013. I have an owl topper and a hay turner, which is actually of tremendous sentimental value to me because it was given to me by my late Uncle Joe Gagan, on uh, as a present, more or less. Then there was a little bit of a down payment for it, but nothing compared to what um nothing compared to what it may have been if I was buying it straight. But uh it's here. It's actually in a pile of nettles inside the yard gate, but I would hope to get it out there and get it cleaned up and maybe restored and get some bit of shape on it the way it should be. Now, I know there are several people have said to me, "Well, are you going to clean it up and just use it as an exhibition piece, or Are you, do you intend using it again? Hand on heart, I fully intend on using it again at some point. Don't ask me when or how, but even if I don't, it's one thing I'm not getting rid of. The same applies to the cattle trailer, which uh, was the first piece of equipment I ever bought when we were starting out. And right, it's on a bit in years, but it's perfectly usable and in perfectly good order. So I would definitely have ambitions of getting some use out of it again. And the same would go for another few bits and bobs that we have laying around now. As you can see, there's a grand crop of hay out in the field at the moment. That is not for our own use this year, unfortunately, but we do have a good few bales of hay and straw that left from last year, and even some silage that's there a couple of years nearly at this stage. Now, I would have full intentions of using the said material at some stage again in the future, but uh, with the size of the yard and the field, with the setup we have available to us, I would have every opportunity, or sorry, every intention of an opportunity, I suppose, of going back into livestock farming or possibly even tillage farming at some juncture down the down the line, because number one, it's too good of a place to as I've said earlier in the video, it's too good of a place to leave lying idle, and plus the fact it offers me a tremendous outlet by way of an escape route or whatever you want to call it. Now, I know you will no doubt say, do you not have that already with the shed at home? And I do. And it is an absolutely treasured and cherished outlet, but I would be lying if I said my heart wasn't and always will be in farming. And if it's humanely possible to get back doing some sort of farming at our own level or for ourselves, if it's even remotely possible at all, I intend to try and give it a go. There are a few other ideas I have in the head as a backup plan, I suppose you would say, but the the heart wants what it wants, and what it wants is to be able to go back farming if at all possible. Let it be with dry stock or tillage, or even to expand the vegetable operation, which I don't see as being a major difficulty when we have the space and the infrastructure in place to to at least have a go at it. Now, am I guaranteeing it'll be a success? Of course I'm not. there's only one thing guaranteed in this life, and that is that none of us will stay in it forever. But as I may have referred to earlier in the video, just been in around the yard and that, absolutely lit the bug back in me again. Even if it had ever dulled out of me, I don't think it did really. And if it did, I would not only be heartbroken, but slightly worried, but been in around the place again definitely lit a spark of some sort again, and it would be my earnest hope that number one, I'll be getting over to the shed more often, and number two, or to the yard more often, should I say, and number two, that you may very well be coming along with me via the camera. And what I can also say to you is, and I just use this as my parting thought for the day, as Jerry Springer does say on his talk show in America, or at least he did. I haven't seen it in years. I don't even know if it's still a thing or not. But the one thought that did strike me when we were just leaving the yard over there today was that I would really like to be able to get my hands on a GoPro and sort of take you with me literally from the driving seat when I'm pottering around either the yard over there or the yard at home, and it would certainly take the pressure off Susie or whoever it is that happens to be with me, and it would mean that they wouldn't have to be dragging a camera all the way around with me. But look, that's all in front of us, and if I've taken anything out of today, it's that for a lot of reasons, there are many, many possibilities straight in front of us, which I would hope to some degree we'll be able to take advantage of, and hopefully you will be able to share some of that journey with us via either this YouTube channel or This Disabled Life on Instagram, or just on the main www.boylantalksport.com website itself. So please stay tuned. Your interest and following of what we do is appreciated more than you will ever know, and I honestly cannot believe the numbers of views and traffic we've got in the last couple of months. As I say again, it's appreciated more than even I can put into words, because it certainly gives me the encouragement and the reassurance to keep at it and keep going. And I would plead with you all to stay tuned, because I would hope we will have plenty of new and exciting adventures to bring to you all soon.